I forgot to put on some lip color. Oh. That's not the product I thought it was.
Uh-oh.
She's a professional.
The whisper. She's a professional.
I thought it was the one I
Maybe
had
she's born with it. Maybe she's a professional.
I thought it was the one I had yesterday that was like very subtle. You had to like draw and draw and draw to get any color out of it. And it just was not. I did a little bit and it looks like I just bit into someone's shoulder. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Ooh. Sorry. I've had alcohol and no food. We're going to have fun today.
Victoria's episode is going to be a shit show? What a surprise.
Hey, you'll have a good laugh when you go to edit this. And that's a guarantee.
What did we do the other night?
The other night. Oh, are you talking about Zoolander?
Hell yeah, I am.
Fucking A. That was so much fun.
Oh my God, it was so much fun.
That was so much fun. It worked out so perfectly too. Like we, for the first time ever, I think arrived exactly when we were planning to arrive.
Yeah.
And that was with 6 people in an Uber that was marketed as being for 6 people. And could technically fit 6 people, but could not really fit 6 people and like picnic baskets worth of stuff. There was no trunk space. I've gotten like supposedly 4-person Ubers that have like, they seat 8 and they're like rows and rows of this spacious and there's like the huge trunk space and plenty of floors. Like we took an Uber for 6 people. Because we had 6 people going and we wanted to, save on costs. And we had all of this stuff because it was bring your own booze and food and you're going there. I mean, we got there right at 6, which is exactly when I wanted to get there. Movie starts at 8:30. You figure that's like 2 hours. So we're not getting out of there till like 10:30. You're not getting home till 11 o'clock. So you really have to think of it as like, I'm going to be gone from my house from 6 o'clock p.m. to 11 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
And I need to bring with me all of the food, all of the drink, all of the everything that I will need, including like plates and napkins and wet wipes and all of the things that you need and the blankets to set out.
Yes.
We had a tarp to put on like down to make sure we didn't get wet from the grass. Like, there was so much that went into this, and then we got in the tiniest little 6-person car.
Yeah, when it pulled up, I remember
the trunk space
thinking
was
this
like,
cannot be for
no,
us.
this isn't ours. We're the big one that's coming around the corner, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Where is our Uber?
Yeah, the 3rd row was like where the trunk would normally be.
Yeah.
So the trunk was like 6 inches deep.
Yeah, it looked like they basically retrofitted a car to be like, we can fit more people in here if we just. It was a challenge. And then going back, the same thing. We had the same it was almost the same car.
It was almost the same car to the point where when I got in and we started like packing stuff in.
You're like, oh my gum, I left here earlier.
Well, I actually like stuck my head out the window because the driver had gotten out to like open the trunk. I stuck my head out the window to see if it was the same guy. Because for a second I was like, this is the same car.
Yeah. I literally had to look and make sure that the names were different. But yeah, it was the same situation going back. Luckily, we had like a little bit less stuff because obviously like you eat stuff and you drink stuff. So it's like not as much, but still like we had like a cart and it was just the blankets and everything.
Yeah.
It was that was the only challenge of the night. But other than that, like I said, we got there right when we wanted to. We sat in line. I guess they had VIP seating. Like we got there early enough that we wanted to get really good seats because it's all just like first come, first serve. But they had like some sort of VIP thing, I'm sure, where people got to go in early because by the time we got in there, even though we were like not that far back in line, there were a lot of people already set up like front and center. And so everyone was kind of like filling in the center and going backwards, but they kind of had it stopped at a certain point. They're like, we need to fill up the front before we open up this
They were like,
section.
this section is closed. And I was like, everywhere else is full. What are you talking about?
And they're like, no, there's space in there. You have to go in.
Yeah.
So we did walk around.
And then your brother and his girlfriend met us there. So we ended up being 8 people.
Yes.
And so we were like, we need this square footage for 8
good enough
people.
space that we're not all going to be like crowded.
Yeah.
And so I was like, let's just go on the side. We started walking up the side to like see where we could fit in. I was like, maybe there's gaps in there that we can like fit in and each have our blankets and stuff. Because I think we had like 5 blankets between the 8 people. We were very prepared. And which is not our usual MO. But we found this space like right up front, like pretty front row.
Yeah, it was
kind
just
of seating.
slightly off to the side,
which
was why no one else was sitting there yet.
Exactly, because everyone was just filling in the middle.
Yeah, but it turned out to be really great seat.
Because it was also, so they have with the Cinespia thing, they have like a little stage, and they'll do like, you know, they get you, doors open at 6:45. The movie doesn't start till 8:30. So they do like little performances, or sometimes they'll have like a band or something. I went to one that was SpongeBob, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and they had like the guy who voices SpongeBob has a band. It's his band that plays the intro to SpongeBob. And so they like showed up and played, and they were like fucking playing the
That's cool.
It's the star of SpongeBob, and everybody went nuts.
Yeah.
I know very little, but I learned a lot on that night. But they had like because it was Zoolander, they wanted to do like a little fashion runway thing.
Yeah.
So they had this amazing drag queen there who was decked out and was kind of emceeing this little runway, and anybody who was, because people come dressed up and stuff. And
her dress was amazing.
Yes.
It was like a little mini dress. Yeah. And it was red. Her whole outfit was red. Like the headdress thing was red with like spikes sticking out of it. And then she was wearing a mini dress that was red, and it was just mirror. Like
it was like a disco ball, but all red.
So it was like reflective and red and gorgeous. And it was so, I couldn't stop staring at her dress.
Yeah.
And she also was just, I mean, obviously, but she was like very into it, and like it was a lot of energy, and it was really great. And
people got to come up.
Yeah. And they were giving, they were
and...
giving away VIP tickets so that to like encourage people to come off and like walk the catwalk and show off their outfit. And there were these 2 little kids who kept going up like over and over, and they just loved it.
And the crowd just, of course, was insane. When it's this tiny little like 4-year-old boy who's dancing to whatever club music they're playing for Zoolander is so great. And then people were going up and bringing their pets.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh man.
The little fluffy white dog next
to it. People knew how to pander to the crowd, and it worked, and it was great.
Yeah, it was really fun. So this is the event. I always thought it was called Cinespia, and then the founder of it got up and said Cinespia.
Oh.
And I was like,
okay,
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear
whatever. GIF. Sure.
He pronounced it like that, and I was thinking like, well, that's not right. And then he was like, I'm the founder, and I was like, oh, he actually probably knows what he's talking about. But I'm still gonna call it Cinespia.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's a cemetery in Hollywood called the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and this is where they have this event, and it's hosted by this organization, Cinespia, and they show movies in the cemetery, and they project it onto a giant wall. And I had never been before. I remember wanting to go when I first moved to LA, like almost a decade ago, and it just never happened. So I was really excited to go. And I was absolutely shocked at how like good quality the visual, like the actual projection and the sound was so good. Yeah. It was not like some janky setup. Like they know what they're doing. They do this all summer long every year. So it was really great. But it was funny. I got up at one point during the movie to go to the bathroom, and where we were sitting right at the front, everything looked good and sounded great. And then when I walked away from the screen to go to the bathroom, and then as I was walking back, I could see the screen on my walk back, and I realized that the sound didn't match up just because you were
where you were
so far away. So I was like, I'm really glad we're sitting up right up front. Yeah. Because even if you're only sitting just slightly farther back, like the sound doesn't. I was like, that would have really annoyed me.
Oh, man.
But it was great. And then the founder guy came out and just spoke about Sinespia for just a minute.
Because they have to bore you slightly before they start the movie. But they do always, like, so they have the entertainment at the beginning. Yeah. And then someone comes out and, like, talks about
while the sun is setting.
Whatever. Yeah. And then they bring out, like, a special guest to intro the movie. And it's always someone, like, that had something to do with the movie or was in the movie. I went and saw, the only other time I went to this was to see Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And we were all really hopeful because it's usually, like, a bigger star. We were all like, oh, my God, if it's Paul Rubin. Because, like, there's not that many people in that movie. And we, of course, didn't know at the time that he was sick.
Oh.
So he obviously wasn't there, but it was the girl in the movie that plays his love interest showed up. So it's like the only other
movie. I know.
Okay, we're adding that one to the list. But they usually get like one of the main characters from the movie. Yeah. So then we were literally like in front of the stage. And so, of course, the conversation is immediately like, so who do you think the guest star is going to be? Like, who do you think is going to show up? Yeah. And who do you think they got from the movie?
I didn't know they did that at all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I should have told you that ahead of time because we were all chatting and I was like, maybe Owen Wilson, like maybe.
Yeah.
It's not, I wouldn't put it past him. I was like, David Duchovny's in this movie.
Yeah.
But he's such a small part. Like, he would probably do it, but it's such a small part. Like, I wonder if it would be. So we were kind of like trying to play this game of like.
Will Ferrell, I bet, would love to do something like that.
Yes, but oh my God, the crowd would go. Yeah, that would have been that. And so that was just like playing the game of like whoever it is. I mean, like there's every single person in this movie is an A-list hilarious comedian. And so like whoever it is that's going to show up, it's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And so then then the president introed, what did he say? And you were confused because you forgot who this person was?
He said, here to introduce the movie, we have the writer of Zoolander.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I kind of forget who wrote Zoolander. Like, that's cool that they got the writer, but like, I don't really know who that is. And then they were like, and he directed Zoolander. And I was like, oh my God, writer, director. Like, I don't think it was like Jon Favreau. Like, could it have been like, I know Vince Vaughn had a small part. Like, who was it? And then he was like, and the star of Zoolander. And I was like, shut up. And then Ben fucking Stiller walks out. As soon as
he said writer, I was like, oh my God.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And then he walked out and started and of course there are cameras right up in front of him because they film all of this stuff. The audience could still see it. I kind of had to like, there was a camera person like pretty close in front of us. So
but they were projecting that on the wall too. Because like obviously we were right in front. And so we were looking directly at Ben Stiller's face.
He was so close to us.
But like there were cameras and there's obviously like their PR and whatever for the
Cinespia, I think is how he said it. I'm just going to keep calling it Cinespia.
Yeah. So whoever was there for them, like obviously their social media, like everybody's there filming.
There were a bunch of people.
Then there was a person there with like a live camera.
Yes.
With a cable running from it that was literally like putting what he was filming up on the screen. So people everywhere where they were sitting were able to see
like
that
way in the back.
Ben fucking Stiller is
and
here.
Then he started introducing the movie as Zoolander, like as Derek Zoolander, just saying like nonsense words in his little high-pitched voice. And it was
so amazing.
So funny. And I just had no idea. Like I said, I didn't know that they would bring anyone out.
Yeah.
So that
must have been a huge shock to go from like, oh, the president of this place is pronouncing this name weirdly. And then all of a sudden, Ben Stiller is standing there. But we were expecting like a celebrity of some kind because there's always someone.
I just wasn't expecting anyone. So when they said the writer, I was like, I don't know who that is, but oh, cool. Like the writer of Zoolander.
Justin Theroux. Which one of these guys? Like, because there's like 7 guys that write those movies, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Ben Stiller, dude. And then
he wasn't enough. They're like, Ben Stiller's probably not got big enough star power for an entire group of people here to see fucking Zoolander.
Right.
Let's add more to this intro.
Yeah. So they brought out the actor who plays Seth Milchek.
Yep. Seth.
On Severance.
Yep.
Which is one of the greatest TV shows I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Which Ben Stiller also produced. It was like his show.
Writes and created.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff.
So in season 2,
I don't think he wrote the original one. I think maybe he directs it now, and he probably has some say in the ring. But yes,
I don't think he's the creator.
He's not the or originator.
Yeah,
of it.
but it is like his show.
Yes.
So
he had to plug it while he was there.
Yeah,
you know, he can't just be there plugging a movie that came out
24 years ago.
I don't want to talk about that. A while ago.
Yeah, but he so in season 2 of Severance, this is not a spoiler because I don't do spoilers ever. But no, this is not a spoiler. In season 2 of Severance, Mr. Milchak, there's a scene where he has like a marching band. And if you've seen Severance, you know that everything is very like, we are going to have a party now, and you are going to enjoy it because that is your job. And it's just, it's very confusing, and the characters are uncomfortable, but they're like supposed to be dancing. Anyway, there's this great, like really long scene in season 2 where there's this fucking marching band, and this actor is going all out, like leading the band with his little baton and his dancing, and it's so good. So Ben Stiller came out as Zoolander and like introduced the movie, and then there's a fucking marching band comes out of nowhere.
Okay. So this is in reference to, they showed like the final episode or episodes of Severance at some like theater or something, and they did like a huge cast Q&A. I don't know where this was, but it was like when the final episodes were airing, and it was the entire cast except for that guy.
Yeah.
Everyone, every single person that was on that show was on this giant stage except for that dude. And they kept making reference to like, oh yeah, he couldn't be here. Sorry, I can't hit the microphone. Oh, he couldn't be here.
Yeah.
Oh, he, you know, whatever. And like prior engagement, which is like, how did you get every single, like you have every single person on the cast here, but this one dude couldn't make it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you hear like a whistle.
I know. I saw videos of that. Yeah.
And he fucking like marches in with this, and like the marching band comes in from all different entrances of the theater.
So overwhelming.
To like, exactly.
Which is how it was
exactly
in the show.
That to this crowd live. And so that's what happened at fucking Zoolander. Did it again.
Awesome.
They were there with the USC marching band.
Oh, so good.
And it was so great. And he just like started doing his thing and like, you know, leading the marching band. And then Ben Stiller's like, hey, I think you're in the wrong. So this is more like a Zoolander. Like, we're not here to
He was like, this isn't really a Severance thing.
Yeah.
But we loved it.
Just for the joke.
We all loved it.
They got the USC marching band.
Yeah.
Like, not all of them probably, but a good portion of them to come to the cemetery. That was a lot of planning for like one little joke just to reference his other show.
Yeah.
Respect.
I mean, if I were in that marching band, I'd be like, absolutely.
I don't think that they had to like pay them a lot to
like, I'll walk
them.
to Hollywood. I don't care.
But there was just a lot of
to the organization
that went into that. And usually it's just like, hey, let's get one person and we'll like send an Escalade to pick them up. And then they'll come in here and like they'd literally come out for like 5-10 minutes. And they usually just talk about like how fun it was to work on the movie, blah, blah, blah. The SpongeBob one wasn't in the cemetery, but it was the same organization. It was in Griffith Park, and there they just have like a big inflatable projector.
Oh yeah,
because there's no building for them to project it on. But you know, they have like bigger stars, and they just come out for like 5 minutes and do a little. All they have to do is be there and be like, "This was really fun. Thank you so much for coming out."
Yeah.
And that's all it is required of them.
Right.
That's all. Especially, like I said, Ben Stiller was enough.
Yes.
Like, you would have been. The fact that the literal star of the movie was there just to introduce it for 5 minutes was so more than I expected.
Yeah, and Zoolander is I mean, I personally think it's one of the funniest movies ever made. It's a classic like 2000s comedy.
Yes.
Like, it's not a dumb little movie, and so people just wanted to go see a movie outside, so they just went to see. Like, no, Zoolander is like a cultural.
Well, and it was so huge when it came out because, like I said, not just every main character is an A-list star.
Cameos.
David fucking Bowie, like
David Bowie in like a full scene. Like, he only had a few lines, but it was a full scene with him.
He was the judge of the walk-off.
Yeah.
Like,
So
they
good.
just shot for, and then the whole thing where they did it at the VH1 Fashion Awards, they actually shot there. Like they actually had to like pause the VH1 Fashion Awards so that they could have all the fucking celebrities in the audience and like do that. Lenny Kravitz, like it's just it's a really fun watch.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yes, and then we were looking up on, I think, the drive down. Well, I was looking up if they would edit out the part with Trump on the red carpet.
Nope. But
and I found a quote from Ben Stiller online because I think it was asked a few years ago if he would edit it out to put it on like streaming services, and he said no because he was like, at the time, like, yeah, he was a joke. I mean, I don't think this was his quote, but he was like, you know, at the time he was kind of a joke in New York,
right?
But and like people didn't really like him in New York, but everyone else kind of knew him as just someone who was in the news, and like you recognized his name, so it makes sense that he would be invited to some New York awards thing just because he's a celebrity. He's also he's almost like, he used to be almost like an it girl. Like he was like famous for being famous.
Yeah.
To people who didn't know that he was a horrible businessman. People who thought he was just in the tabloids because he was like, it's like Paris Hilton, like the child of a rich person.
Right. Yeah.
So it makes sense that he would be invited. Yeah, he's a Nepo baby is what he is. So he was like, at the time, it would make sense that he would be invited to this thing and he'd be interviewed. And, you know, we were just choosing celebrities. So whatever. So I get that. I get why he didn't edit him out.
Right.
But during the movie.
Oh, you know, LA.
He came on the screen.
I did not think that there would be a quiet mouth in that cemetery.
And
the graves were literally like, boo.
Yeah. And I could. Like the second I saw him, I started booing, and
it just comes out of you.
It didn't even occur to me like, hey, maybe wait until other people start because you don't want to be the only. Like I didn't even have that self-conscious moment of like, I don't want to be the only one doing it, so maybe I'll just do it. I'll wait.
It's a reaction.
It just happened,
It's just
and luckily it happened for 1,000 other people, and everyone was booing.
Yeah,
it was just great. LA is.
And then
fun.
It was right in the beginning, and then it just got over with. And
I think they showed him sitting in the audience because they kept showing like celebrities. But so you had to see his ugly face like twice.
Yeah.
And otherwise, it's just one of the greatest comedies ever made. It is so over the top funny. I mean, Will Ferrell's outfits.
Okay.
He wears so many corsets, and that man is like 6'7".
Yeah.
And his hair matches his poodle's hair.
So the poodle was fucking, like, the poodle was one of the best characters in the film.
The poodle is just over
Every time he, like, leans over during the VMA Fashion Awards, it's like, it's Jerry Stiller, R.I.P. He was so fucking, also, like, when he showed up on stage, everybody, like, screams. Oh my God. And then his mom, too. Anyway.
I know, and I always wonder if it's, you know, because I doubt that Ben Stiller like sits around watching Zoolander, but if he ever does watch it, like I'm sure he left and didn't actually stay for the movie. Away. But like if he ever does watch it,
to watch at least them show up on screen because the entire audience, it was like the opposite of the Donald Trump response.
Yeah,
it was like, yay, Jerry Stiller.
Yeah, I just wonder if it makes him sad.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, so my favorite movie trivia about Zoolander is about. Oh, but what I was going to say is when, sorry, I'm all over the place.
That's okay.
When, there's too many good things to talk about with this movie.
I know.
When Will Ferrell is bending over and he's talking to Jerry Stiller, it's like he's on one side of Jerry Stiller's head and then the dog is on the other side. And he just bends over and the dog just like hangs there in his arm.
It's a little like 2-pound, like fluffy white poodle.
Yes.
With like a pretentious poodle haircut. Yes. It has like the fluff on the top and then like the shaved neck. Yes. It looks ridiculous.
So my favorite bit of movie trivia about this movie is about Will Ferrell's hair. So I haven't fact checked this, but I just remember hearing this when I was younger that. So when they were shooting that film, they were like, we're going to have to bleach your hair. Like, we want you to, it's the same thing. Like, we want you to mimic the poodle. Like, we want you to match. You have to have this like white blonde hair. And he has like sandy blonde brownish hair or whatever. So, like, we're going to need to, like, bleach it, and we're going to have to keep bleaching. Like, no roots can be showing.
Didn't they just do a wig?
So they were like, we have to bleach it. Like, it has to look totally realistic. It has to whatever.
Too.
I mean, he has curly hair naturally.
Okay. Oh, you're right. I haven't seen him with long hair in like 20 years. I think they just
styled it or something like that.
You're right.
But it was this thing. And then like he spent a good part of, if you go back and watch like SNL, like you don't see it because he's always wearing a wig and everything that he's doing. But then like the good night, goodbye thing, it's like this white, like beaming light off the top of Will Ferrell's head for like a few episodes during that season. They kept having to like re-bleach it and stuff. And then they were going back. It wasn't for reshoots. I think they were shooting the poster.
Oh, okay.
And for the poster, we like, okay, we can give you a wig.
Yeah.
Like for this, to retouch a movie, especially back then, like at so many, you have to like retouch every frame basically. But like a poster is one frame. It's just one solid photo. Like we can put a wig on you and it'll look a little fake and whatever. And we can like retouch it and Photoshop it and make it look great. So they put the wig on him and they're like, oh, that looks awesome.
Could have just done it the whole time. I don't know if
I put this wig on him and they're like, that looks exactly like your
I'm glad we fried your scalp for 4 months straight. Jesus Christ.
He could have just worn a wig. They were like, no, it's going to look like shit. We have to make it look really real. And they got this wig made. They're like,
try
that
the
looks
wig.
great. Because wigs are expensive. I'm sure it was just like a budget thing. Like bleach is cheaper than wigs.
Yeah.
And then
I don't think I would have told him.
Yeah. I would have been like, yeah, it looks good. We did a lot of work for the poster. We'd retouched a lot.
Like hide all the mirrors in the makeup trailer and then send him out, take the photo.
He could tell. He was probably like, this looks great. What are you talking about?
Oh, God. One of the things I love the most about his character in that movie, Mugatu, is that
he has a building shaped like an M.
An M at the top. I love...
Or no, it is. Yeah. I thought it was shaped like an M, but you're right. It is just at the top.
Yeah. I love that he has he's in this like fashion world.
Yeah.
And all of his henchwoman has this like crazy accent. And all of the designers that he meets with have accents. And there's the scene at the beginning where he is being like lectured on the child labor laws and all of these
from like the council of people in shadows.
Fashion council. All these people have like exotic accents to make them sound so interesting and mysterious. And then he just has his loud American voice. Like, he's just like, but it can't be done. And I'm like, you couldn't at least slap a British accent on him to make him sound a little classier? He just is pure American.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just the contrast between all of these, like, beautiful fashion, like, skinny fashion people in New York who have these, like, really... like interesting accents from all these countries that you've never even heard of. And then Mugatu is just fucking American. And he just sounds so stupid.
Wasn't that the point, was that he was like the big American designer that like never hired Derek Zoolander. And so like, it didn't make sense. Anyway.
Yeah. It's such a good movie.
Every part of it.
Yeah.
Building for ants. Oh my God. Every joke is just like the dumbest. Like you were saying that you've referenced Zoolander so many times in the podcast. My favorite was when we were watching it the other night, and it was like the David Duchovny thing where he goes into the entire, but why male models? And he goes into this long explanation, and then at the end, but why male models?
And then David Duchovny looks at oh my God, what's her name? Christine Taylor?
Yes.
David Duchovny looks at Christine Taylor like in disbelief.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And then he looks back at Derek Zoolander and he's just like, are you kidding? I just explained. It's so good. It's so good.
Worth a rewatch if you haven't watched it in a while.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth another one. It holds up.
It really does hold up. There are a lot of comedies from back in the day that do not hold up. But this one does. It does make me sad, though, with the David Bowie scene.
Yeah. Well, and like I was saying,
Jerry Stiller.
Jerry Stiller.
Have you seen one of my favorite bloopers of all time?
Seinfeld?
It's from Seinfeld. Have you seen the one where he's trying to, I think they're at like
A police
a
station?
police station?
Yep.
The one with Elaine.
Yep.
Every time he opens his mouth, Julia Louis-Dreyfus just bursts out laughing. Like she can't even hear the sound of his voice. Like she already starts laughing when he even like looks up. She just loses it. Oh my God. Yeah. God, he was a good one.
So
anyway, yeah, that was really fun. That was really, really fun. As soon as we got there, I was like, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And also, one thing about it that was so great was when you got in line, you waited in line for like an hour.
Yeah.
And we could sit down.
Yes.
We weren't just waiting. We were kind of in the sun, but luckily it was 6 o'clock and it wasn't like that hot.
Yeah.
But it's not like we were lined up on the sidewalk against a building.
They had us on this
and everything was radiating heat at you.
Nice fake grass.
Yeah, it was AstroTurf.
And everyone could just like put down their blankets and like get out their chairs or whatever.
And people like started drinking.
Yeah, I looked around and everyone, because we weren't like on the sidewalk. We were like on their property.
We were on their property.
Private property.
Yeah, and also.
And everyone just started taking out their cans and drinking.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, yeah. And as soon as I started doing that, I was like, oh my God, it's already 6:45.
Yeah.
The time went by so
well. Also, that was funny. You came over to get your water bottle from the cooler.
No, I put my water bottle away and I grabbed my alcohol. Well, and then I sat back down and then I was like, oh my God, it's already time.
I thought that you were going to come over and get a drink. And then I saw you sit down with, I thought it was your water bottle.
Nope.
I thought you were drinking water.
Nope.
And I was like, I'm surprised that Kate hasn't started drinking. And then later you told me that your Aperol Spritz was in your water bottle.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh, okay. Thermos, water bottle.
Well,
whatever.
I had my water bottle and then I put that I was like drinking my water like I should. And I was like, okay, I've done enough good work. And I'm going to put this back in the cooler and then I'm going to grab my Aperol Spritz. And then as soon as I did that, it went from like, okay, I've been looking at my, at the time every 5 minutes. And then I was like, 20 minutes just went by.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that there was water in your thermos.
No.
And I was like,
no.
Why hasn't Kate like popped open a can of something
yet? If you can't
yet?
see the color of the liquid, it's not clear.
Good rule of thumb.
You can go by that with me.
It was fun though. And it was a crowd of like millennials who wanted to see Zoolander.
Yeah.
We weren't there for some like concert
rager
of a band who has questionable.
Well, and that's what I was saying. Like, how much trouble are you going to get into a fucking cemetery? Like, what are you going to damage?
Right.
If you walked in there with a shovel, maybe they'd be like, hey there. Maybe what you doing? We might need to keep that at the front. You can take it on your way out.
The one thing you're not allowed to bring into a cemetery is a shovel. Like
liquor, sure.
Into a grocery store, you're fine.
We walked in there. I had joints on me. I had liquor on me.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. No shovels, though. Absolutely no shovels.
No shovels
and that is a guarantee.
Yeah. God, okay. That's quite funny. Okay, we just talked about Zoolander for 35 minutes.
Oh my God.
I forgot to set a timer. Okay, now we are going to very quickly discuss the drinking age versus the driving age. In my notes for this episode, I wrote, Victoria says, it's backwards. And then Kate says, end of episode, see you on Monday.
Yep.
Because I figured I'll just get it out of the way so that you don't have to try to end my episode early.
Yeah.
Okay. I know my co-host. So the drinking age in the U.S., well, before Prohibition, it was not standardized. Some states wanted you to be somewhere between 18 and 21, but a lot of states didn't have any sort of laws.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah. So, but then
and
Prohibition
die early.
Yeah. I mean, you could, work in a factory and get your fingers chopped off and then come home and have a nice cold beer as a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
So at least there was that.
I mean, I feel like if they're gonna make you work in the factories, they do owe you a nice cold beer at the end of it.
Yeah.
If you're old enough to get your fingers chopped off.
Yeah.
You're old enough to have hops.
Uh-huh.
And I've always said that.
You've always said that. That has,
The Tony and Ryan joke.
So Prohibition was 1920 to 1933, which I think we talked about recently. Weren't we
So
both shocked
long.
that it
So long.
It lasted much longer
That
than we
means
thought.
that there were elections that happened during that time, and people were like, let's keep these people in office.
Yeah, they didn't immediately vote them out for taking alcohol away.
Or chop off their heads like Marie Antoinette, which I would have thought would have happened a little sooner, taking the booze away.
So during Prohibition, obviously, like, there was no drinking age because alcohol was
a medicine.
I don't think it was illegal to drink, but it was illegal to produce alcohol and to transport it and to purchase it.
Okay.
So I think they've pretty much maybe
you stay in one spot and give away free alcohol.
Yeah, but it's like,
good.
Where did you get it from?
Here.
Like
it was here when I got here.
Right. I found it. It's always been here.
Keepers is 9/10 of the law.
I have heard that. Finders keepers. I think it's called possession is 9/10 of the law.
Sure.
Finders keepers. Oh my God. Okay.
Mine's more fun.
Finders keepers always reminds me of another celebrity who we lost too soon. Jessica Walter in Archer, the episode in space where he like starts to go crazy and they're looking for the mysterious cube and then she's like, findies keepies. Like that was like a hallucination. So then later he's like, I thought it was findies keepies. And everyone's like, what? It's finders keepers. What are you talking about? And that's how you knew that he was starting to... No spoilers, not going to talk about that. So after Prohibition, the drinking age was, again, back to being somewhere between 18 and 21. And then
Did it vary by state at that point?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think... Well, we'll talk about this. 21 is way too high.
Yeah.
I would even argue that 18 is too high. But anyway, in the 60s and 70s, a lot of states lowered the drinking age to 18 after the voting age dropped from 21 to 18.
Right. Makes sense.
So the 26th Amendment in 1971 lowered the voting age from 21 to 18, and they used the slogan, old enough to fight, old enough to vote.
Yes.
So if you could be drafted at 18, you should be old enough to vote.
Right.
So, yeah, it still blows my mind that in the U.S. you can, I know we don't have the draft anymore, but you can sign up for the military.
Right.
You can vote. You can sign legal documents, getting yourself into hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt to pay for college, but you still can't drink.
No.
That is insane.
Yep.
And then in 1984, the National Minimum Drinking Age Act withheld federal highway funds from states unless they raised the drinking age to 21. So within 4 years, every state had complied and raised their drinking age because they wanted money for their highways. So I don't know whose idea that was, but I do know who was the president in 1984. And it's just going to go on the laundry list of terrible things that he's done to ruin this country.
I wonder who that could be.
I wonder. One of our very worst presidents. The U.S. has today one of the highest drinking ages in the world at 21 years old.
Right. But at least we have like the lowest rates of alcoholism and alcohol-related deaths and drunk driving because we are so responsible that we have the drinking age so high. So people are able to fully mature and develop because when you think Americans, you think mature.
And really good decision making.
Yeah. Like forward thinking, consequences are always in mind.
Right.
That's us.
Right.
That's the U.S.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely are always thinking of the future with every decision we make. Yeah, for sure. That's what we're known for.
Yep.
So not accurate at all. So in the UK, the legal drinking age is 18 to buy alcohol. To purchase alcohol in a pub or a bar or an off license. In the UK, you have to be 18, not 21. You can drink beer or wine or cider. Cider is popular in the UK. At a pub with your family at 16 or 17.
Or a family. They're not going to check.
A family. Yeah, but the adult has to order it for you.
Oh.
So you could like slip them a $5.
Oh, okay.
Oh, or a $10. That's a lot.
I mean, I'm
drink?
not. No, for multiple.
Oh, well, you could like slip them a few bucks, a few quid.
Sure.
And just be like, can you order me this drink? And then if they get caught, obviously they get in trouble, but just don't get caught. That's fine. And then listen to this. At home in the UK, it's legal for children over 5 years old to drink alcohol under parental supervision.
What?
Yeah. Don't know what that's about. Like, I'm all for lowering the drinking age to like 16, but 5 is ridiculous.
5 years old?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know who the fuck would give their 5-year-old alcohol or their 10-year-old. Like, that's not a good idea.
Mommy needs a nap too. And if
You're supposed to sleep when the baby sleeps.
Right.
And if the baby won't sleep,
give them some alcohol.
There you go.
You share a pitcher of margaritas and you pass out for an afternoon siesta.
Family siesta time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's Europe.
So glad
man.
we don't have kids.
They do things differently over there.
They sure do.
They got the metric system. They got drunk ass fucking toddlers. They got cloudy days.
Yeah. It takes a lot for me to insult the United Kingdom, but y'all fucked up there.
Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah, maybe raise that. Anyway, France and Italy are very similar to each other. The drinking age is at 18, but kids drink at home with their parents as like part of a meal. In those cultures, it's much more. Yeah, you have, and even
tequila shots in Italy.
Right.
Like,
and even adults when they. I mean, this isn't the case with everyone, but like adults in France and Italy, when they go out to lunch, or Spain, they might have like a small glass of wine with lunch.
Sure.
And that's fine. And that's normal. It's a part of the meal. It tastes delicious. It complements the food, whatever. In the US, if you're going out to lunch and you're having wine, you're having like multiple glasses. So I think that's why we view people drinking alcohol at lunch as like kind of taboo, because we take it to the extreme.
Right.
So France and Italy are very similar. It's just part of the culture, but you do have to be 18 to purchase alcohol. Canada, it's 18 or 19, depending on the province.
Yes.
So this actually surprised me. Iceland and Scandinavia have very strict rules around alcohol.
Really?
That did surprise me because I figured it was so fucking cold that they were like, just go for it. You got to keep yourself warm somehow. But they also have, I did know this, they have high taxes on almost everything, and the tax on alcohol is very high.
Gotcha.
So the drinking age is 20 and it's expensive.
Is there a lot of alcoholism there and that's why?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think they just know that alcohol is bad for you, so they try to regulate it pretty strictly.
I just know that like if there's like Australia has really strict and really like the alcohol there is so crazy expensive.
Yeah.
Because
well, it all has to be imported, right?
All alcohol.
Yeah, I have heard that.
Is the other thing.
Yeah. Is it effective? Does it stop people from drinking excessively? Or do they just spend way more on alcohol?
I mean, again, taxes and high prices on things only regulate stuff for poor people.
Right. So if you can afford it, like it doesn't matter how much it costs, you're still going to buy it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Being an alcoholic in places like that is a status symbol because it means you can afford to drink alcohol all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. I do want to go to Australia, especially because I know the US dollar is really powerful there. We can probably buy a lot of stuff when we're there.
Yeah.
So maybe alcohol would just be regular prices to us.
Yeah.
The exchange rate.
Let's do it. Let's get on that 17-hour flight. And that's only to the east coast of Australia. If you want to go anywhere else, it's farther. Yikes. Okay, so driving. the other part of this episode.
Right. I forgot.
Not just drinking. Drinking and also driving.
Driving.
Which you shouldn't do at the same
I
time.
was just going to say, we do not recommend
we
those
don't.
going together.
We don't. I feel like we're pretty nonchalant about a lot of things on this show, but I think that we can confidently say that we condemn drinking and driving.
Yeah, Uber exists now.
Yeah.
So, like, we're done with that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Uber's expensive, but do you know how much a DUI costs?
DUIs are expensive.
It's like $10,000.
Totaling your car is expensive. Dying is... Maybe not expensive,
but it's unfortunate.
But expensive is like, the cost is pretty high.
The price that you pay.
Pretty high.
And then also
Same
you
thing
could
with,
injure other people.
Killing another person.
Yeah.
Don't
do that. That's not cool.
Not as high as an Uber.
Right.
Like, I've taken some pretty pricey Ubers. None of them are, you'll have to live with yourself for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
No, you could just pay it and then go work your job that you don't like and make more money, and then you're fine. You're fine. Everyone else is fine. And those are the most important things.
Yes, absolutely. Glad we cleared the air.
Cheers.
I just wanted to clarify because we do say a lot of like joking things, but we're not going to joke about drinking and driving because don't do that.
No,
it's not cool. It's not impressive.
Dumb.
It's pathetic, and you look like a loser because you are a loser if you do it. Moving right along. Okay, so cars. So we talked about drinking. Now we're going to talk about driving. In the early 1900s, in the United States of America, cars. I forgot what I was saying. I got the words out. It's fine.
Drinking and what are we talking about? Driving. We're talking about driving.
I'm not driving today, so
none of us are driving. We don't even have cars right now.
No, we don't. Okay. So cars in the early 1900s were like brand new, right? I kind of always think of cars as maybe not being invented, because I think they were invented in like the late 1800s. But I always think of 1910 for some reason being like a big year for cars, and I don't know why. Maybe that's like when the Model T came out or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but in one of the Sherlock Holmes movies, which took place in the 1890s, they have a car and they're driving it down the street, and everyone's like very confused about what's happening. Like people keep looking at them like they're driving some crazy contraption down the street. Anyway, but in 1903, Massachusetts and Missouri became the first states to require licenses.
Wow.
However, there was no age minimum. So you could drive a car at 6 as long as you had a license.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway.
Can I get a license for my car?
I need a driving license, please.
Like how we now talk about how when you go to get your license, you can just write whatever in the height or weight section.
Mm-hmm.
You could just go and get a license. You could just go get one.
Yeah.
I guess if you like wanted to stand at the DMV, it was worth it no matter what your age was.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know. Isn't that strange?
So these drunk Italian toddlers. Or no, it wasn't Italy. That was the UK. These
British.
Drunk Scottish, or these drunk...
Scottish.
Sorry. These drunk British toddlers.
What have you got against the Scots?
Are running around.
Driving around.
Driving in Massachusetts and Missouri?
Yeah.
What random states?
At least they required licenses like the other states didn't.
It'd be like, at least they both begin with the letter M. I was like, well, yeah, but still very random parts of the country.
That's the level of intellectualism you've come to expect from me.
They are random, but they're at least in the same part of the alphabet.
Oh,
that song, they're right up against each other. Anyway.
As time went by, they raised the driving age to 14 to 16. In 1939, it was 16 in the U.S., which is younger than in Europe. And it was set to 16 as opposed to older so that teenagers who lived in rural areas would be able to get around.
Yeah.
And I remember growing up in a rural area, I couldn't even walk to any of my friends' houses. We didn't live anywhere close to, there was not a sidewalk within a few miles of my house.
Jesus.
Downtown Crozet had a sidewalk, but how are you going to get there?
People come and take photos of it.
You have to like walk through the cow fields to get to it. You know, it's not. Anyway, so I remember getting my
Get
license.
there and you just hear a bunch of, ooh.
What is
It's so smooth.
This newfangled contraption. So I remember getting my learner's permit at probably 15 in Virginia and thinking like about time.
Yeah.
Because I have to go see my friends.
Yeah.
You know, and then I got my license when I was 16 and yeah, I was finally able to go visit my friends and go to their houses if, you know, because before that you just have to rely on your parents. And my parents were pretty good about driving my siblings and me to our friends' houses, but sometimes they were at work or sometimes they were busy or like I would be like, can I go spend the night at Lauren's house? And they would say, yeah, I can take you, but like her parents have to drive you back tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to be able to drive myself. So I understand like the rural aspect of that.
Yeah.
I just, now that I am slightly older than 16, I feel like that is way too fucking young. Like it is shocking to me that a 16-year-old is allowed to drive a car.
Yeah.
At the time, I felt like, again, I was like, finally.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, 16-year-olds are literal children.
Yeah.
Like they're considered, like legally they're children.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrifying to me, I feel. So in the UK, the driving age is 17, although a lot of people in the UK just don't drive because you can get around the cities quite easily. And then from city to city, there's like always a train you can take.
Infrastructure.
Yeah. And then also cars in the UK are extremely expensive. So it's like, what's the point? You know, for most people, you're not going to spend the money to get your license and then you can't really afford a car.
Right.
So anyway, a lot of Europe, the driving age is 18. Mexico and Latin America, it's 18. Iceland, it's 17, which compared to the rest of Europe is like super young.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then, so the reason that I wanted to talk about this topic was I think that the drinking age and the driving age is backwards.
Yep.
That's my opinion.
Yep.
I think that you should learn what it feels like to be drunk before you start driving and get comfortable with driving. Because when you first start driving, you're nervous and you're overthinking everything and you're like terrified. But once you get used to it, I mean, we've been driving for a few years now and it's like second nature. Yeah. I mean, you still pay attention and you still like follow the rules of the road and stuff, but you're not as panicky. You're much more comfortable after time goes by. So I think the problem with starting to drive at 15 or 16 and then not drinking until you're 21 is you get so comfortable driving that when you start going out to drink, you feel like you can drive home and it's not a problem.
Right.
It is a problem.
Yeah.
In the United States, car crashes are the number one cause of death for teenagers.
Yep.
In the year 2020, 24% of drivers 15 to 20 killed in car crashes had been drinking. So obviously 15 to 20 is below the drinking age.
Right.
So people are going to drink anyway.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like in Europe, like I mentioned, and I think this is probably common in Latin America as well, alcohol is just more integrated into the culture and integrated into meals. And so if you grow up, like I said, having a glass of wine at lunch with your parents.
Right.
Or 2 glasses of wine with dinner on the weekend or whatever.
Right.
You have a handle on like how it feels to be inebriated. I'm not encouraging parents to like get their kids fucked up, but like if you understand the difference between sober and 1 drink and 2 drinks and 3 drinks, then by the time you start driving, you'll understand like, oh, I know what it feels like to be tipsy. I know what it feels like to be drunk. That does not mix well with this.
Also the latency of feeling alcohol.
Yeah.
Like I did not understand when I was younger that like, oh, I just had a drink and I don't feel drunk.
Right.
I should probably have another one. Or I'm fine to whatever because I can play this game. I just had a drink and I feel fine. The drink doesn't hit you the second you take it. It's not like, I've never snorted anything, but I imagine when you snort something like a drug, it hits you immediately because you're like putting it into your system and it's going straight into your, bloodstream and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But alcohol you have to digest because you eat it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as having edibles versus smoking weed. But like, you just don't
It takes a few minutes.
think about that because you're like, oh, I'm drinking it. I'm putting it into my body. I'll feel it right away because it's going into my body right away.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not absorbing into your system immediately like
Yeah.
you think it is. And you don't learn that right away. And you don't know exactly how long it takes your particular metabolism
Yeah.
to feel the effects. And that's all stuff that you kind of, just have to learn. And it's not like once you learn it, you're going to be perfect and everything. But to give someone the tools to at least be able to understand what this is going to feel like, you should not be able to go out and get drunk for the first time ever and drive home.
Right.
That is absolutely so fucking irresponsible.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just because we don't want to have infrastructure. That's the only fucking reason. Because in Europe, like you said, all the small towns are connected by trains.
Mm-hmm.
And here we have people that just want to move out in the middle of nowhere and they're like, I want to be off the grid. I don't want to be near any. And then they have families. And then those kids are like, what the fuck? I'm completely cut off from civilization.
Yep.
I want something. I have to get to somewhere. And we just don't have it. I grew up in a, not a rural area. It was a city, but our mall was 20 miles away.
Mm.
I mean, that was a 20-minute drive because that's how long it takes to get to places like that, because you just go on the freeway and you're traveling 65 miles an hour and then you get there in like 15 to 20 minutes. But still,
like a minute equals a mile.
Right. I couldn't just go to the mall whenever I wanted to. That just wasn't an option. There were a couple of friends that I could bike ride to, but like some I couldn't. I had a friend that lived 30 minutes away because she lived out on the outskirts of town, but it was a Catholic school. So when you go to Catholic school, you're not just getting the people that live in your little public school bubble.
Yeah.
You're getting people from all over. So like some of my friends did live really far away. And until we were able to drive, like we just couldn't really hang out on the weekends, or we have to have our parents drive halfway and do this like handoff, like a fucking like divorced couple or something. And it was just like two families who had no relation that were just like had daughters that were friends.
Yeah.
And it's I remember having a foreign exchange student for a summer when I was in high school, and she was from Spain. And I remember that was the first time I heard of a place where she was 17, I think, and she couldn't drive. She had never driven before. Like even that, like I didn't even think about how like, well, obviously you wouldn't drive in a foreign country, but she had never driven a car before, and she was 17, but she had alcohol before because you can drink at 16 and you can drive at 18. And I remember hearing that even as like a fucking 15-year-old kid who couldn't do either of those things and thinking that sounds a lot smarter.
Yeah.
Like I would much rather get used to build a tolerance for, like we're all saying, like learn how my body reacts to all of this stuff before I get behind the wheel of a car.
Yeah.
It just makes so much more sense. And it seems like it would be the solution to all of these drunk driving deaths.
Yeah. And I also think that drinking should be younger because, I mean, if you're going to drink, if you don't want to drink, that's fine. This doesn't apply to you. Like none of this applies to you.
Right.
But if you're going to drink, that's something that you are doing like to your own body.
Right.
And so you should be able to drink younger.
Right.
Because it's just affecting you.
Because you're not endangering everyone
But
else
learning to drive
on the road
is much more serious.
Yep.
And you're putting, I mean, I know people unfortunately die from drinking, but like
it's not as deadly of a weapon.
Driving is much more dangerous than drinking. And you could also hurt other people.
Right.
So it should be taken much more seriously. And I mean, I'm sure if someone said this to me when I was 15 and I was about to get my learner's permit, I would tell them that they were wrong.
Right.
But as an adult, I'm like, I cannot believe that these like sophomores are being taught to drive.
Yeah.
And they've never had a sip of alcohol before. And again, I'm not like encouraging young kids to drink, but like maybe we
aren't we?
Maybe we like build some trains in the US, or maybe we have a better bus systems within a small town or something. I'm not here with like a whole bunch of answers. I'm just saying I think that the way that we do it is wrong.
Yeah.
And the fact that teenagers are learning to drive and getting comfortable behind the wheel, and then they start to, because I mean, I don't remember. I think the first time I got drunk, I was probably like 16 or 17,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't start drinking that much until I was like senior year of high school and then in college.
Mm-hmm.
And so by then I was very comfortable behind the wheel of a car.
Right.
And luckily I didn't like drive drunk or have any accidents or anything like that, but I could have
Yeah.
if I were less responsible.
Right.
Like if I just didn't care, if I had a little more like hubris,
Right.
I probably would have, and who knows what would have happened.
What about some sort of like government subsidized, I mean, obviously not right now, but eventually when we get back on track, government subsidized like Uber like program where people could sign up to get paid from, the city, the state,
Yeah.
whatever, the federal government, to get reimbursed like Uber rides, but they're just free and you just go to the bar and pick people up and drive them home.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. But you'd have to live in a place where the government cares about its citizens.
Yeah. Again, not for right now.
Right.
But for a future idea, when California
Secedes. You did it. You got it.
When we succeed in seceding.
Yes. Okay, there you go.
You were so disappointed for a half a second.
Yeah.
We have a successful secession. Not succession, but a successful secession. English is so fucking dumb. Anyway.
It's not dumb. It's just complicated.
Dumb.
No, it's not.
Successful succession.
You can say it however you want.
No, I'm saying 3 different words. That's what I'm saying. They just all sound the same. Similar.
Okay, anyway, just wrapping up, in Europe, the drinking age, like I said, is usually between 16 and 18. The driving age is usually 18. They have way fewer car crash fatalities than we do. They have way fewer, not as many car crash fatalities.
Like so many more not funerals.
Yeah. Not as many funerals.
Yeah.
You do realize it's 120 degrees in here.
I don't.
Okay. Just for fun, you and I should get our lab work done and just see why I'm always running 70 degrees hotter than you. But that would require you going to the doctor, which you haven't done in apparently like 20 years. Yikes. Norway and Sweden have some of the world's lowest road death rates.
Is it because they don't have any roads?
No, it's because they have a high driving age and alcohol is so expensive that not even that many people drink anyway.
What do they do there?
In Norway and Sweden?
Yeah.
They invent things. They are really good at government.
Okay.
And they make delicious food.
Okay.
And they like hang out in nature. Have you ever seen photos of like rural Norway?
No.
Oh my God, it looks like Switzerland. It's so beautiful. Okay, so per 100,000 people in the US, there are 7 to 8 deaths per 100,000 people. Wow. In the UK, it's 3 to 4, and in Scandinavia, it's 1 to 3. So
we're not doing great.
The US is way higher. Yeah. Other countries just have a more responsible outlook on driving. Like they just take it more seriously than we do. And like I said, American teens are not as familiar with drinking. So we don't know what the fuck we're doing when we get behind the wheel of a car. Not me, because I don't drink and drive.
There you go.
We're going to move on from this because I'm very sweaty. Do you want to know how long we've been recording?
No.
Okay.
Spider-Man.
I meant to look up what category this fits into. I forgot to do that. It's not mind-blowing shit.
Okay.
This is going to be mildly interesting. Mildly interesting information. It even has a boring title. Look at that. Okay.
Me. That's the acronym. Mildly interesting information. Me.
But with like a cough in the middle. Like, me.
Me.
So I heard that in Japan, the snacks that they sell in packaging
Okay.
look exactly like the packaging. You know how when you buy something in the US, or you know how when you go to like a fast food place and you see a photo, not you, but like a person,
Yes.
you see a photo of a McDonald's cheeseburger and it's like so thick
Yeah.
and it looks
It looks
and
like half of a person's head.
yeah. And everything
Height.
looks like juicy and fresh and the
Mhm.
lettuce is like crisp and like all the mustard is like contained on the burger and then you open it and it's just like a fucking sloppy mess.
Yeah.
And it's like, why is this allowed?
Right.
So in Japan, this is not allowed. Japan has an act against unjustifiable premiums and misleading representations.
Wow.
And they've had that since 1962. It's been updated multiple times. But they consider a photo of like a really nice looking snack on a packaging
Mhm.
and then the snack inside not reflecting that, they consider that to be false advertising.
Wow.
Which is illegal. So the Consumer Affairs Agency monitors the packaging and advertising. And then if a company is found guilty of misleading representations, they can be fined. They can be ordered to change their packaging. And in some cases, they can be publicly named and shamed, which in Japan is a huge deterrent because they're all about like having
Honor.
a good reputation and
Yes.
having honor, which in the US, it's just like do whatever you can get away with
Yeah.
to make extra money,
Right.
even if people think that you're garbage.
Right.
Yeah. But
And
in
then
Japan,
you can claim to be canceled when
Right,
you're
right.
claimed as garbage because you're a garbage person.
yeah.
You can cry and be like, I was canceled.
Right. Exactly. But in Japan, they take it very seriously and they don't want to ever be accused of, being liars
Right.
because that's a serious accusation in a country where people respect themselves and each other.
You know what would be really nice
Mm-hmm.
is to go shopping for mascara.
Mm-hmm.
You already know what I'm going to say.
Yep.
And to be able to look at a model wearing the mascara and see like a before and after of like, this is what this person's eyelashes looked like.
Yeah.
And then in the after photo, just have it be those same lashes with the mascara on them.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, we get a before photo of a person with no mascara on their natural eyelashes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the after is them with giant fake fucking eyelashes that are multiple inches long.
Yeah.
Protruding out of their face, curled perfectly, looking amazing. And then they swipe the mascara over top of those.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to want this mascara based on those results.
Right. Yeah, that should also be illegal.
Yep. I don't need the McDonald's burger to look. I know it's not going to. I know that food photography is like an art form and there are all sorts of different tips and tricks and things that you can do. And it's not actually milk in the cereal bowl. That's glue. It's like Elmer's glue. And then we just sit the milk, the cereal on top of it. And then it looks like it's floating and suspended. But it's like there's all sorts of shit like that they do to make things look a specific way in the photos. I'm fine with that. I want to know when someone puts this mascara on their face, what it looks like just on their face without a fake false accessory to enhance that same feature over top of that or underneath the mascara. I just think there are certain things. I don't think we need to go that far in publicly shaming companies because I don't think that would work. But I do think that we could take a little part of that and maybe make it so that an anti-wrinkle cream can't use Photoshop to blur out all the wrinkles on the model after she uses the anti-wrinkle cream.
Yeah.
Because that's fucking lying.
Because that's, I mean, at that point, it's
Absolute
not even
lying.
an advertisement for the cream. It's an advertisement for like Photoshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these like before and after weight loss things for decades, it's two different people. They're just both wearing blue sweatpants. Like, it's not hard to notice that, like, that person's tan and that person, like, these are two different races. You're just seeing them from the neck down. And you need to understand that they just bought 2 different pairs of sweatpants and put them on 2 different, completely different people. And I'm in favor of a little bit of this. I think we could take pieces of this, and make our world a little less fucking bullshit.
A little less fucking bullshit.
Just a little
bit. That
bit.
sounds good.
Just a little bit.
I like that. In the U.S., the FDA regulates the ingredients and nutrition labels.
Okay.
So those
for now
have to be accurate. Although I did learn recently that the calorie and like macro and stuff is not like, if something says it has like 300 calories, it's not going to have 1,000 calories, but it might have 350.
Oh.
Or if it says it has 19
it's like
grams
an
of protein,
estimate, but it's not
it might
necessarily.
have 16. It's not going to have 4, but
good thing that's only improving.
Yeah, it's definitely only going to get more accurate. If you buy like a frozen meal from a store, it'll have like sides and garnishes and stuff in the photo. And then it says like shown with optional toppings. And it's like, well, so that's not what I'm actually buying. Like,
right.
I guess you're showing me what I could do with this,
right.
like what I could add. But I just don't think that makes sense.
There should be like, if you're going to do that, it should be 2 different photos. Like there should be a photo on the front of like, here's what you're getting. And then a photo on the back of like, here's what you could do.
Here's what you could do with it.
You could fix him.
No, really, I can. That's a Taylor Swift reference. Okay. So there was a class action lawsuit against Subway because their sandwiches were not as long as they were advertising, and Pop-Tarts because the strawberry Pop-Tarts either had very little fruit content or maybe none. And then the courts dismissed these cases because they said that the exaggeration should have been obvious to the consumer. Because in the US, packaging often sets an idealized version, and consumers are expected to understand that.
Gotcha.
So we're expected to see a package of something and think, oh, that's not actually what's in the bag.
Right. It would be nice
They're
if that
selling me
existed.
the idea of what could be in the bag. And then you open it and everything's like crushed and not very good. So I think we should be more like Japan. Another country that has a lot of trains.
Hey. Nice fast trains too. And they're clean because, again, people take care of things.
People have respect for things. Imagine. I mean, I think Americans kind of idealize Japan a little bit. I know the whole country is not like this futuristic, like 100% clean, like heavenscape. Jesus fucking Christ, that is the mic. I know it's not perfect, but I just feel like if we take a little bit from different countries who are doing things properly, like
imagine if that was our melting pot.
Yeah, the best parts of every country.
If we were like,
and not just the fascism from all different countries.
A variety pack of all the best flavors.
Yeah. And not like the majority of the shitty flavor that no one wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by shitty flavor, I mean conservatism.
Yeah. That's the lemon. Lemon
The
flavor.
lemon flavor is so boring.
Yeah.
It's just,
there's no actual flavor. It's just like...
It's just the tiniest bit sour baseline. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boo. Gross. Boo.
What's our next episode about?
Oh, fuck. Farming subsidies. I was going to do high fructose corn syrup, and then I realized that basically the reason that high fructose corn syrup is in everything is from farming subsidies. It's not that high fructose corn syrup is necessarily dumb.
Yeah.
It's that the fact that it's in everything is very dumb. Because high fructose corn syrup is not as bad as it's made out to be. I mean, it's like bad. It's not as good, but it's also like it can't be the source of obesity that everyone points to when Mexico is more obese than America, and Mexican Coke has real sugar.
Well, in Mexico, they eat a lot of fried foods. They fry like everything.
I mean, so do we, but I just mean like everyone says that it's the high fructose corn syrup that makes America obese. And it's like, we're not even the most obese country anymore. Mexico took that over. And a lot of people point to the fact that they drink nothing but, like, nobody in Mexico drinks water. They drink Coke. Everyone drinks Coke. Everyone drinks Coke
Oh.
all the time. It's
didn't
all
know that.
Coke. Yeah. Mexico drinks more Coke than the U.S.
Coke isn't even very good.
I know, but that's what they drink. And
Why don't they drink
became
water?
the most, I don't know, but they became the most obese. I think maybe like you can't
Do
get
they not have
pure
access
water.
to-
Yeah. Like you can buy a bottle of Coke and know that it's got like purified water in it and nothing in there is going to make you sick immediately.
And like 100 grams of sugar.
Right. Exactly.
Or like 40, but still, that's way too many for.
But, well, I think they're buying the bottles
A
and stuff.
beverage.
It's just, yeah. So it sounds boring, but it's going to be very...
It doesn't sound boring. It
very
just
intense.
sounds upsetting, but it'll
I
be
haven't done a really
informative.
upsetting one in a while, so why not? It's going to be government adjacent, but it's not going to be about the current administration, so I feel like that's okay. I feel like
Yeah.
when we, reference the government or like the Reagan shit that you were
Yeah.
talking about, it's different than being
I didn't
like,
even say his name,
I know.
but we all knew who I was
Oh,
talking
fuck
about.
yeah. Used to be able to say the worst, and now it's one of...
Yeah. I think it was Reagan was the worst, and then Bush was the worst. And now Bush is the second worst.
I think Reagan was worse than Bush, honestly.
More damaging.
Yeah, because like he
I think he
was
did more.
the initial shift.
Yeah.
Like
I think
Bush
Bush
never
was
would have happened. if
Considered
Reagan-
the worst because of the war crimes.
Right.
But I think Reagan probably did more damage to our country,
Yes.
like long term.
Exactly. Shutting down all the insane asylums and like releasing people onto the streets definitely fucked up the entire country.
We can call them
Really
mental hospital.
Really, really hardcore.
Yeah. And then fucking over California. And now everyone thinks that California is churning out homeless people when really they come from other states.
Mm-hmm.
They're like giving a little bus ticket out to California.
Or they're fucking veterans that we didn't take it. And now they're
Yeah.
fucking... Anyway, yep.
Which,
Nope.
why would you join the military if you know
Yeah.
that even if you get out alive, you're not going to have a good life afterwards?
No.
Like, no one's going to help you.
Yeah, and if you get injured, sorry.
Right.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I would never.
Have fun never getting health insurance for the rest of your
Mm-mm.
life because we're not taking care of you anymore.
No, definitely not.
You knew what you were getting into when you were 18 and couldn't even drink.
Thank you for listening and watching.
No, let's take that again. You need to cut all of that out. You need to cut all of that out. This episode is going to be 3 hours long. You need to cut all of it
We
out.
have been recording for 1 hour and 37 minutes. This is our
God
longest
fucking
record
damn it.
ever.
Okay. All right, let's wrap this up, shall we? You're going to cut all of that out. Nobody's ever going to hear it or see it.
I'm going to cut most of it out.
It's 4:22.
Ah! Okay. So next episode, we're talking about farming subsidies.
Yeah.
That will be out on Monday.
Monday.
Thank you very much for listening and watching to this episode. You can catch more audio episodes wherever you find podcasts and video episodes on Spotify and YouTube.
Yes.
And you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Everything's Dumb Pod. If you have a dumb topic you want us to talk about, we would really love to hear it. Please submit your topics to us on social media or everythingsdumbpod@gmail.com.
That's it.
Is our email account. Yeah. So thank you very much. And we will see you on Monday. And stay sane out there. Do your best. Do your very best. We're rooting for you.
Go have a drink and take an Uber. Bye.
Yes. Bye.